Hello and welcome to our show. Before we begin our analysis today, I must state clearly and slowly that this review is generated by artificial intelligence. It is a synthesis of the text provided to us. Today, we have a very special discussion planned. We are going to analyze the book titled AI-Powered Leadership, Mastering the Synergy of Technology and Human Expertise. This book is authored by a team of experts, Dave Silberman, Rich Maltzman, Loredana Abramo, and Vijay Kanabar. It's a very comprehensive guide for any modern leader.
It is a pleasure to be here, and this is a significant work to discuss. The core idea of this book is, I think, quite refreshing. So often when people talk about artificial intelligence, there's this underlying fear, a fear that the technology is going to replace human roles. But the authors here, they present a very different argument.
And what is that argument?
They introduce a concept they call the both-and approach. The idea is not about choosing between humans or machines, it's about integrating them. You take the computational power of AI and combine it with the uniquely human abilities. Things like emotion, creativity, and strategic thinking. The result, they argue, is far superior to what either one could do alone.
That's a much more encouraging perspective. So, to set the stage for you, the book is published by Pearson, a very well-known name. It also has a foreword by Edivandro Carlos Conforto from the Project Management Institute, the PMI. That certainly lends a lot of weight to the theories inside. Our discussion today will go through the book chapter by chapter. We want to understand how a leader can operate in this new era. So let's begin with Chapter 1, Understand and Apply the Both-and Approach in Leadership.
Chapter 1 really sets the philosophical foundation. The authors, they describe the evolution of leadership in 3 distinct stages. The first stage was all about experience. Leadership was based simply on what a person had done in the past. Then we moved to what they call the either-or mindset.
Either. So a leader had to choose between two things.
Exactly. They felt they had to choose between using data or using their intuition. They were seen as opposing forces. But now we're entering the third stage, the both-and stage. In this stage, you don't choose. You use both data and intuition at the same time.
The book has some interesting visual icons for this, which I found helpful. They describe a human icon, which has a brain and a heart. This represents creativity and human connection. Then there's the AI icon. It looks like a server tower with gears representing logic and processing.
And the third icon is the most important one.
The both-and icon. It shows the two connected, and they create this diamond shape in the middle. That diamond, I suppose, represents the extra value you get.
That's it, exactly. That diamond is the goal. But getting there means navigating what the authors call the unseen dynamics. It means leaders have to look beyond just the surface of their operations, these dynamics. They include human biases, our emotional reactions, even organizational politics. The both-and approach requires a leader to actively guide these things, not just manage a spreadsheet.
And that leads directly to their section on creating a culture for success. The book lists some very specific steps. Step 1 is redefining leadership roles. This seems really important to me. Leaders are no longer just order givers.
No, not at all. They become facilitators. Their main role is to blend the inputs from the machine with the inputs from their people. And a critical tool for this is what they call reflective decision-making. You see, in a world where AI gives you an answer in a split second, the human leader's job is to slow down.
To pause and think.
Yes, to pause and consider both the AI's output and the human perspective before taking action. It acts as a kind of safeguard. It prevents blind spots, from bad data or bias from becoming really poor decisions. The leader is the final quality check.
That's a perfect transition into Chapter 2, how artificial intelligence works. The authors make a very good point here. You can't lead something if you don't understand it.
They do, and they break it down very clearly for a technical audience. They explain the basics of large language models, LLMs. The book gives a simple 4-step explanation. First is training on language. The model learns from huge amounts of text from the internet. Second is tokenization. This is where the model breaks all that text into small pieces or tokens and turns them into numbers.
So the computer isn't really reading words as we do, it's just processing math.
That is exactly correct. It's all mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
The third step is understanding context. This is where the model uses complex layers to find the relationships between all those numbers. That's how it gets meaning. And finally, step 4 is predicting words. Based on all of that, the model just guesses the most likely word to come next.
Understanding that it's all based on probability really helps. It explains why we need what the book calls prompt engineering, which is a big focus of this chapter. The book introduces the CREATE framework for building good prompts. It's a very useful acronym. Let's see, C stands for character. You tell the AI who to be.
R is for request. What do you actually want it to do? E is for example. You show the AI the format you want. A is for audience. Who is this output for? T is for type of output. A table, a list, a paragraph. And the final E is for extras. Any other specific instructions you have?
It's a very practical tool. They apply this to a case study they call a terrier clinic. Could you walk us through that example?
Of course. In the Terrier Clinic case study, a hospital is putting in a new record system. They use an AI to analyze all of their operational data. The AI predicts very specific problems with patient flow that will happen during the change. The key takeaway here is about the division of labor. The AI handles the huge data analysis. It finds the what. No. This frees up the human leaders to focus on the strategy, the how to communicate this, how to manage the change with their staff.
That's a very clear example of that synergy they keep talking about. Let's move to Chapter 3, the synergy in human-artificial intelligence interaction. This chapter focuses on what they call power skills.
Yes, power skills, things that used to be called soft skills. The book argues they are now the most critical technical skills for the future. They use a great illustration here. The iceberg model of leadership. Above the water, the part you can see, is the myth of leadership. The loud, proud leader who has all the answers.
The kind of boss you see in old movies.
Precisely. But below the water, the huge part of the iceberg you don't see is the reality. This is where you find empathy, psychological safety, inclusive behavior, coaching. And the argument is, as AI takes over the technical work, the above-the-water tasks, these human skills become a leader's primary value.
So as the machine calculates, the human must connect. The book introduces a specific method for this, the Delphi AI method. I know the traditional Delphi method, but what's different about this one?
Well, the traditional method uses anonymous experts to reach a consensus, so one loud voice doesn't dominate. The Delphi AI method simply adds the AI as another participant in the room. The AI provides data and finds patterns, but it doesn't dominate the conversation. It's treated like any other expert. This creates a balance. The humans provide context and the ethical check, while the AI provides the raw processing power.
There's another really compelling example in this chapter about multimodal AI. I believe it was a study about diagnosing dementia.
This is one of the strongest proofs of the both-and idea in the whole book. Researchers at Boston University built a system that didn't just look at one type of data. It used multimodal AI to look at medical history, patient demographics, and different types of brain scans, all at the same time. And by combining all these different types of information, the AI improved its diagnostic accuracy by 26%.
26%. In medicine, that is a massive improvement. It really shows the practical value. Let's move on now to Chapter 4, Practical Applications and Future Trends. What does the future look like for leaders?
The biggest shift the book describes is the move from managing to inspiring. For decades, we've taught leaders how to manage schedules, resources, data. But the book argues that AI will soon manage all of those things for us. So the human leader must focus on what can't be automated, inspiring other humans, creating a shared sense of mission.
Which implies a need for constant growth. The book really emphasizes continuous learning.
It does. The technology is just changing so fast. But more importantly, Chapter 4 highlights what it calls ethical intelligence. This is a crucial section. As we give more work to AI, leaders must set up governance. The book lists requirements like audit trails, so you know why an AI made a certain decision, and risk assessments to understand the consequences if the AI is wrong.
It sounds like ethical oversight is going to be a major part of a leader's job description. Now, I want to spend a little time on the appendices. Usually we might skip these, but for this book, they feel essential.
You're absolutely right. They are essential for a technical audience. Appendix A, for example, details systems thinking and the DSRP framework. It's a scientific method for organizing complex information developed by Dr. Derek Cabrera.
Can you break down that acronym, DSRP, for us?
Certainly. D is for distinctions, what something is and what it is not. S is for systems identifying the parts and how they make a whole. R is for relationships, how do all those parts connect and interact. And P is for perspectives, analyzing the system from different points of view. It's a structured way of thinking.
That sounds very useful. Appendix C is also very practical. It compares open source and proprietary models.
It is. This is a debate many leaders are having right now. Proprietary models, like from OpenAI or Google, are easier to use. They're safe and great for general business. But open source models, like from Meta or DeepSeek, they offer more control. They're better for research, and you can fine-tune them on your own specific data. A leader needs to know which one to choose for a given task.
And finally, Appendix D on project management prompt engineering. It features a case study called Hotel Bougie.
The Hotel Bougie study is a great example of using AI for simulation. A project manager is planning a big hotel renovation. They use the AI to simulate customer reactions. They ask it, act like a loyal customer. How would you feel about the construction noise? The AI helps them draft a communication plan that addresses those specific fears before they even happen.
It's fascinating. They're using the machine to help them be more human.
That is the absolute essence of the both-and approach.
We have covered a lot of ground today. As we wrap up, I think the main lesson here is that leadership is no longer a binary choice. It's not about your gut feeling versus the machine's logic. It's about using both together to reach a level of performance that neither one could get to on its own.
That's the perfect summary. The tools don't replace the leader, they make the leader more efficient. They clear away the routine tasks of data analysis and scheduling. This gives the leader more time for empathy, for strategy, for inspiration, the things that truly matter.
I would strongly recommend that you read the book AI-Powered Leadership. We've discussed the concepts, but the book itself has the complete templates, the prompt scripts, and the charts that you can use in your own work. It really is a valuable resource.
I agree. It is a manual for the future. And I'll leave you with this final thought. If artificial intelligence can handle all of your data, all of your scheduling, and all of your analysis, are you really ready to focus your energy entirely on your people? It is a much harder job than it sounds.
That is a question worth pondering. To our friends of the show, if you enjoyed this analysis, please subscribe for more discussions on technology and leadership. We wish you all a great day.